So let me go ahead and get into the game scene here, and I have added a chat box to this scene here. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna like where it's at. If not, I can always change it. But the point of that is that, like, I feel like, in fact I might change it just a little bit lower. I feel like that I am not saying the people's questions or comments before I respond to them as well, and so I want to make sure that that doesn't get lost in translation on my VODs. So I plan on changing that around. That was just a quick fix for right now. And then I'll have to, like, see how that works on my next VOD when I don't go and watch this one playback one through. Then I'll see how it looks and we'll go from there. But I'm probably going to change it around and make it more transparent and different things like that. I just haven't had a chance to really look into that because I was just trying to figure out how I was going to be able to co-stream with Final Fantasy XIV tomorrow. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Let me go ahead and get queued up for Leviathan Hard. And we'll see how long this takes me. I really hope it's not going to take very long. But we'll see. Let's see here. And then once we do that, then we'll have a couple more quests until 2.2, and then we'll be heading right into 2.3. And then, which 2.2 has actually been surprisingly interesting. It's lots more voice cutscenes, so that's been nice. But we'll see how we're doing. Hope everybody else's day has gone good. Mine was really busy. Went and had my hair cut, or all my hair was cut, really. Got myself some pretty flowers from Trader Joe's. Went to Jollibee's. Went to the Disney Character Warehouse and got Blood His hat. But then, yeah, then I came home and I was also working on some other things for our other channel that we've got on YouTube. So, working on that a little bit. But yeah, it's been a very busy day. Very busy day, but that's okay. Busy days are good. I'm just glad I had yesterday off too. So I was kind of like just chilling all day yesterday. Just kind of hanging out and having fun. Which I know I have some things to do tomorrow, so I'm glad I had yesterday to do that. But I'll probably, after I do the stream tomorrow of the keynote, I will probably do a few things and then just chill. Because I had to go back to work on Saturday. So yeah. We got 2 DPSs. You know what? Let me go and see if I can do a few fates, because that's something we do have to do, is we got to get some fates in. I guess I can go to well, let me just go to Mordona. I gotta get some fates in so that I can get some more, can get leveled up, because it's so weird that I'm the Warrior of the Light and they keep calling me Private Red Claw. Like, I need to be higher than a private, thank you very much. Alright, so let's see, we got plenty of fates going on here. So let me just go ahead and do this one over here. And, because this is a single mob. Oh... I'm backwards. There we go. Yes, I know I can't fly any higher. No, that's not the way I want to go. Where am I going? Let me get this map out of my way. There we go. Oh, we're down a DPS. I don't think there's anything in Party Finder. Let me see. Oh, social maybe? Yeah, Party Finder. Trials. They're all locked. They're all statics. I can actually... I thought there was a way to... show ones that are not locked. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so they're all... Which is kind of crazy if you ask me, because this is the Aether data center? Oh, I just missed that out on that. So I was taking too long. Let's go ahead and do this one over here. We'll see how it goes. What was that? Was that... Was that Rhea's voice? No, that's Rhea's voice. I don't know what the high-pitched voice was. That must be the seasoned adventure doing all that noise. There we go. I got 250. There we go. This one is... Okay, I can probably do all of these. I can just head over there, though. It's so much nicer being able to fly now. I have to wear... Oh, these are all... Both of these are single mop. Okay. We'll see how I can do this. Oh, it's a freaking marble. Oh. Let's see if I can get this done in 3 minutes or less. Let's see. Ah. Oh, the way this is going already, I don't know, man. I'm dying slow. Whoa. I feel like my hand is not in a good spot right now. Whoa. 3 minutes. Let's go. I missed my dancer dashes. Oh, that'd be nice if I had popped out already. Thank you, Blood. Hey, how was the chicken? I brought home the rest of the chicken for him because I wasn't gonna be able to eat it all. Is it? They told me that the chicken is really spicy. Is it really spicy? Oh, I'm interested in knowing. Hey, look at that. Let's finish this fate and we can hopefully get that. Come on, come on, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. There we go. Oh, I got an achievement too. Woohoo! Oh, this music gives me the chills. Alright. Here we go. I don't know, but I don't know if this one actually makes the rails go down. I don't know. I can't remember. This is just hard mode. I need to go this way because it's going to. Yeah, that. Okay, so I can't remember which one I need. I think there's like a buff on it. This one is, what is that? Magic text. So this one I do, yeah, I can do this one here. Can't do the other one. I need to get rid of this Aha gun, because they'll just drop shit. Be careful. Oh, there's another bard here too. This is definitely not my favorite. I am not a fan of this one. We do need to get rid of that. The extreme mode is ridiculous, by the way. He didn't hit the bubble in time. See if we can do this at this time. And away he goes. Back up here we go. I know it's not really necessary, but it's good practice. This is, yeah, magic tax. We're already doing a lot faster than we were. Now we can do the spumes. I feel so helpless. I don't really have anything. There we go. Another one down. That one down. I need someone else to do that because they know what they're doing. That was probably too early. Maybe? Oh, we're good. And there's the good music. That's a good music. Okay. I feel like it's just... Oh, no, there's another Zagan. Okay. That was good. Alright, let's get rid of this tail. And we are done. So much easier than the extreme mode. These must be the crystals down here. Okay, that makes sense. Alright, so let's go ahead and I'm right back to where I was. Okay, so now I gotta go back to Lominsa, and report to Merleweb. Merleweb. And go into the command room. It was decently spicy, but not overpowering for you anyway. So I probably would have like burned my mouth with it, huh? Gotcha. Well, I'm glad I saved it for you. Knowing the urgency of your business, I thought it best to refrain from making conversation during your past few visits. But today I'll permit myself a few words. Ahem. I feel truly privileged to have had the honor of admitting a hero such as you. You are an inspiration to us all, madam. And on that note, the Admiral awaits you in the command room. Wink. Oh, look at that. They're all here.
We Lominsans are sworn to strive, till sea swallows all. And swallow all it would have, had Leviathan prevailed. That we still strive now, we owe in no small part to you. Not for the first time, you have delivered Limsa Lominsa from the wrath of a primal. Never has our nation known a stouter ally. On behalf of my people, I give you my humblest thanks. 'Tis meet that I give thanks to old Mistbeard, too, for his fine solution. Whatever else he may have been, 'tis clear he was a resourceful soul. Would that I had a man like him in my service.
Before I set foot in these lands, I had no inkling that the people of Eorzea contended with such mighty foes. Suffice it to say, their existence came as something of a shock, as did the idea that they could be defeated. This experience has served to remind me of the vastness of the world, and the boundless potential of man. Though I am but a refugee in this realm, I would fain be of use to you in your fight. Know that I am tutored in one of the foremost combat arts of the Far East. It may seem outlandish to the Eorzean eye, but should any of your people care to learn, I would be pleased to initiate them.
And I will see to it that they are grateful. I have no doubt that your knowledge and skills will serve us well. Besides, your art is not so outlandish as you think. Would you not agree, Master Thancred?
Naught escapes your searching eye, Admiral. Few are privy to this information, but Limsa Lominsa is home to a certain secret fraternity. Its members are trained in a form of combat not unlike your own. By my judgment, it should not be beyond such individuals to adapt to the techniques I witnessed you employing with such admirable deftness.
I am heartened to hear this. I too noted a kinship between your style and mine own, though it seemed to me that you fought differently in the beginning.
I suppose I did. What can I say? I'm a man of many talents.
Though you may labor to believe it, Thancred was once something of a scoundrel who fraternized with the criminal class in these parts.
Yestola! You jest, of course.
But for a chance encounter with Alphino's grandsire, he might never have left Limsa Lominsa, or received an education in Sharlayan, or taken up his post in Uldar, which is where he trained in the blade, lest you wonder.
Minfilia, please!
It would seem there is more to you than meets the eye, Master Thancred.
Lady Yugiri, I am told that you and yours came to Eorzea seeking permanent resettlement, and that many domins have since been engaged as frontier hands at Revenant's Toll. Moderna is many things, but a place of refuge it is not. Know that I would like nothing better than to furnish your people with a new home here on Lominsan soil. Alas, racked by instability as we are, our nation is in no fit state to take you in. Yet I'll not have it said that we turned a blind eye to your suffering. Until such time as we can do more, I pledge to send provisions.
We are in your debt, Admiral. I realize that it scarce qualifies as repayment, but if it please you, I shall set about sharing my martial knowledge with your people at once.
You wished a word in private.
The better not to spoil the festive mood. History repeats itself, Admiral. As the kobolds did before them, the Sahagin resorted to summoning their god over a territorial feud. They acted in self-preservation. It may be that the Sahagin initiated this particular clash, but how it begins does not interest me so much as how it ends.
I have not forgotten our conversation, Y'ashtola. I am aware that man bears part of the blame for the Primal's existence. Nor am I ignorant of the Sahagin's reason for acting. They sought to secure a place to breed and multiply that their kind might survive. Self-preservation, as you say. But we have as much right to live and thrive as they. If our own survival is threatened, are we to lay down our arms and welcome oblivion? Nay.
And so you kill, that you might live. Yet if living is a right, then that right belongs to all peoples, be they men or beastmen.
I'll not deny your reasoning. But when a storm gathers, it falls to me to see my people safely through it. That is my duty, and I shall do it.
As must we all, Admiral. Stay the course, then, but know that it will lead to no good end.
Man has ever put himself first and foremost. To justify his actions, he clads himself in the armor of righteousness, though it be a fancy of his own making. In this, mayhap the Garleans and we Domans are not so different.
Eorzea has become as a raging sea. If we are to keep our heads above the waves, we cannot scruple to drown the man next to us. When hopes of coexistence founder, strength must determine who has the greater right to live.
Oof. Goodness, that was a little deep. Yeah, so I realized that when they were talking about the Gary teaching the other people about her art, it's where you were able to unlock Rogue and Ninja, so that's kind of neat. I'm not doing it on this character because I don't like melee characters. I don't like the jobs, so we're not going to do that. But I have done it on my main as far as like did the story and everything. It's pretty cool. Yeah, anytime they give Thancred a hard time though, that's always fun. Hey Astral, how's it going? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Alright, let's go ahead and see what we got. The Admiral has informed me of the arrangement. I have in my keeping a letter of introduction for Lady Gary. To the south stands a gate leading to a pier for smaller fishing vessels. Look for an inconspicuous hired man there and present the letter to him. He serves as a gatekeeper of sorts. Now before you go, I'm obliged to remind you that the members of the fraternity to which you would be introduced abide in the shadows of Lumenson society. They value their independence more highly than pirates, and we are united by a bond stronger than Mithril. To wit, they are invariably wary of new faces. Though it be penned by the Admiral herself, mere words on parchment will grant you only so far into their confidence. You must work for every ounce of trust they place in you. But here's a letter. Go to the aforementioned place and show it to the aforementioned man. Oh, and good luck. Okay. I'm gonna have to, I don't know if I can do that right now, if I can fix it right now. Yeah, I don't, let's see here. I'll have to mess with it later. Like I can take it off. I just I'm only doing it as a way to test it. So I'm gonna keep it on right now because I want to test it when I watch the stream back, and I'm gonna play around with it. So I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna do that. I think I do want to make it smaller, even though like, I want to make it like condensed where it's not the full chat. Like if I made it really big, you'd probably be able to see better. Let's see. Like you might be able to see it. I don't know if you can still see it now, or if it's just because it's clear. It's because, as I was saying earlier, Blood, what happens is I have a hard time remembering to read back what the person was saying before I respond to them. So when people watch the VODs, they're like, what is she talking about? So that's the reason why I have it there. But yeah, Astral, I was working in oh, the Weeboos are back. I was working in Stream Elements earlier, but I got so busy with everything else that I didn't have time to finish it. So I just threw it up there just to kind of test it. But yeah, I was trying to figure out, I'm going to be doing a special stream tomorrow, so I was trying to figure out how I was going to be able to do all that and get everything situated for that. So kind of ran out of time, but that's okay. I need to go down to, wait, I thought I could go down here. I guess not. I guess I don't need to go down there. Okay. Let me just go this way. I guess I could have taken the... No, it's right here. Okay, we're good. Got business with me, adventurer? So you're the woman the Admiral sent word of. I was hoping I might catch a glimpse of Thancred, too. Been a while since I saw his shit-eating grin. But with all the doe-eyed wenches about, I suspect he's got his hands full. Ah, you must be the Far Easterner what Merlib says wants to train with us. Welcome to Limsa, milady. I'm Yagiri of Doma. 'Tis an honor to make your acquaintance. I must confess, when first I learned of your organization, I had certain preconceptions as to the nature of your membership. It would seem I was mistaken. You're not the first person to say that, lass. Limsa's a city of pirates, to be sure, and pirates don't give two farts about keeping a spotless reputation. They hardly need a secret society to do their dirty work. Might be as my people and I keep to the shadows, but we've got nothing to be ashamed of. It's simply better for business that we remain unseen. And so you have developed fighting techniques suited to this purpose, I see. Know that the practitioners of my art, too, are denizens of shadow. 'Tis in the stealth that our strength lies. There is much we might learn from one another, I think. Then what in the seven hells are we waiting for? If you'd come with us, Yagiri of Do-What's-It, we can get acquainted in more private surrounds. Ha! That didn't come out right, did it? Lady Rhea, I shall remain with these people for a time, that I might study their ways. Though I am loath to be separated from my countrymen, I take solace in the knowledge that they are in the best of hands. You have been a true friend to us Domans. No words would suffice to express my gratitude. Ere long, I hope to begin imparting my martial knowledge to the people of Eorzea. When that time comes, it would be my honor to welcome you as a student. Alright. Much and more has occurred since first I beheld Eorzea from the galleon's deck. Suffice it to say, I did not envisage being invited to play a part in your noble struggle. But forgive me, I have kept you over long. Doubtless you have been pressing business of your own. Rest assured that I no longer require an escort in this land. When you next meet Lady Minfilia, pray relay to her my humblest thanks. Would that I could do so in person, but I must needs fulfill my promise to the Admiral. Till we meet again, Warrior of Light. Alright, so I'm about to go to Mordona. Oh, this is the last quest of 2.2, so we're actually about to finish it up. We are on the road to Heavensward. I really wonder, though, if we're going to get actually a release date for the next expansion tomorrow. Or later today, as it is. I don't know if we will. I think we're going to get like a season that's going to come out on.
I have been reflecting upon the events which took place during our visit to Vilbrand. If you have a moment, I would share my conclusions with you. Please, bear with me. When the Sahagin Elder summoned Leviathan, he employed the power we have come to know as the Echo. Though I cannot well explain the how of it, it would seem he became immortal in so doing. When the Admiral subsequently slew him, His spirit emerged from his lifeless flesh, a consciousness shorn of physical form. Thus transfigured, he took up residence in the body of his minion with the ease of a man donning a favorite glove. Long have I known that the echo allows one to pass through the walls of a man's soul. But never did I imagine that it could free us from our own flesh, nor less that our souls could then occupy the next corporeal vessel to take our fancy. It was of this that Elidibus spoke, an existence which knows neither cessation nor oblivion. And yet, though the Sahagin had mastered his gift and thereby become immortal, he was by no means invulnerable. As we both bore witness, he was ultimately absorbed into Leviathan. And the import of this observation? If the Ascians' mode of existence is indeed the same, it can be inferred that they too are not invulnerable, that they can be destroyed. There exists a legend which tells of souls who are reborn upon the cusp of each umbral calamity, that they might stay the encroaching darkness. To most, it is but a fairy tale, yet recent events have given me cause to wonder, could the legend in fact refer to the echo? Much and more yet remains unknown, but I am confident that all will become clear in time. For the present, however, what matters is that the key to defeating the Ascians may at last be within sight. With Eorzea's aid, it is my hope that I shall fathom this matter ere long. Oh, I was just about to send for you, my friend. Is Artemis?
Grave tidings from the Sharlayan motherland, my lady. It doth concern our distant allies, the students of Baldessian.
What of them?
My lady, the Isle of Val, which for many years hath been the Order's home, is no more.
No more? Whatever do you mean?
I relate only that which hath been conveyed unto me by our agents. An etheric wave of the highest magnitude was recorded in the region. Soon thereafter, 'twas observed that the isle had ceased to be. 'Tis postulated that a magic was evoked, like in power to Ultima.
12 preserve.
If there are no other matters, I move that today's meeting be adjourned.
It is done, my lord. Forgive my impertinence, my lord, but these orders, I am uncertain as to what end they serve.
Revolution.
Wait, did he blow up the Isle of Val? Huh. Alright, well, I guess we're going to continue to see. It's nice that most of the cutscenes in that were voiced, so let's see what they look like in this next, and we're in 2.3 now, so getting closer. I'm probably not going to be able to get through all of 2.3. But we're going to get a good chunk of it done, and then on the next stream that is the normal stream, we'll see how far we can get. But I would say probably next week or so we'll be in Heavensward. So I'm excited about that. And I started, let's see, I started in February, I think it was, my first stream. So, and I had a couple weeks of there that was off because of surgery and stuff. So not bad. I'm pretty confident I can get through Dawn Trail before the next expansion, so we'll see. Alright. Our friends, the very isle itself, everyone and everything. No, it fails us not to speculate. Eorzea will send word if there are any developments. Until such time as he does, we must remain firmly focused on that which is within our power to change. With that in mind, I would speak of a different matter, one closer to home. It concerns etheric fluctuations, which we had previously attributed to good King Magomag XII. That the king is no more such is a blessing for which we have you to thank. Yet all is not well in the Twelveswood. Our latest readings reveal an ongoing etheric disturbance of considerable magnitude. They may even suggest the presence of a primal. Needless to say, the mere possibility warrants immediate investigation, and I would have you... Acelia? I do not wish to interrupt, but we have a problem. What manner of problem? A band of refugees, hailing from Ul'dah this time, are come to Reverend's Toll seeking asylum. It would seem they expect us to afford them the same treatment we gave the Domans. At present they are in the 7th heaven awaiting a formal response. I see. Mayhap this was to be expected. I shall meet with them at once. Acelia, you know full well we haven't the resources to accommodate many more people. Consider what will happen if you do this. Word will spread and more will follow. Your opinion is duly noted, but I will hear their suit. Rhea, I should be grateful for your presence at this meeting. I guess they're out here, okay. The 7th heaven, I think, is the bar. Oh, hang on. There's Ul'dah. Okay, so I was saying the other day, I was like, wait, why do they have Limsa? They have Limsa down here. There's a Limsa painting. And up here is Ul'dah, but I don't see one for Gridania. I already looked over here, but... Oh, here we go. There's Gridania. I think. It looks like Gridania. Okay. I'm satisfied now. They have all three. Yeah, right here. I apologize for keeping you waiting. My name is Benfilia, and I lead the Scions of the 7th Dawn. 'Twill be praised, it is you! We're ready and willing to work, same as the Domans. Just give us a task and we'll see it done. Pray calm yourselves. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I know not of your situation. Beg your pardon, antecedent. I ain't so good with words. We've been living off the scraps of Ul'dah for years now. trying to piece together a life to replace the one that what got took. They say that there's work, but there's not for an honest man. Not as wouldn't sully his soul sooner than his palms, any road. The flames do what they can for us, of course, but it ain't near enough. And it's only getting worse. When the calamity brought us to our knees, those rich bastards in the city didn't help us up. They climbed on our backs. I don't pretend to be clever, but even I can see what's coming. I knew we had to run. The only question was where. And then it came to me. Reverend's toll. I mean, you took them foreigners in, didn't you? So you'd surely do the same for us. I fear the situation is rather more complicated. While it is true that we accepted the Domain's petition for aid, the decision was the product of extraordinary circumstances. I sympathize deeply with your plight, but pray understand that it is not possible for an organization of our means to aid all who have been affected by the calamity. And so it is with great regret that I must deny your request. But we've got nowhere else to go. You're turning your back on us? If I might have a word. Tataru, is aught amiss? Ill tidings from Ul'dah, my lady. Alphino has been wounded. What? How? Is it serious? I cannot say for certain, but I fear it might be. According to the flames, the refugees started a riot. They went wild, apparently, lashing out at any and everyone. That can't be right. Why would they? They must have been provoked. The demonstration was meant to be peaceful. 7 hells. Now the Blades have an excuse. They'll round us up and kill anyone who tries to resist. Antecedent, please. If you won't help us build a new life, at least help us keep the ones we've got. My lady, we are not one to stand idly by and watch innocents suffer. However, until we know more of the circumstances surrounding this riot, I am not certain what aid, if any, we can provide. If the authorities determine that the refugees attacked without provocation, then those responsible will have to answer for their actions. How can you be so blind? Find Alphino and quickly. If he is in danger or worse, I would have you and none other by his side. Thank you. Pray do not concern yourself with the matter we were discussing earlier. Yida and Papa Lima will see to it. Alphino is being treated at the Hourglass. Hurry, Rhea. Yeah, yet another storyline that I do not remember whatsoever. I don't remember Alphino getting hurt. This is why I'm glad I'm doing this. Although, Alphino, maybe he can do with a little bit of a humbling. Hopefully it's not serious, though. Where is the hourglass? I guess it's in the quicksand is what you call it. I think it's what it's called, the quicksand. Yeah. Well, he's standing, so that's good.
Come, you must have gathered by now that Tataru is given to exaggeration. As you can see, I am quite well. Ul'dah, on the other hand, is not. This riot was anything but an isolated incident. There is a restlessness in the air. Tensions long simmering are at last threatening to boil over. Ul'dah is a nation infamous for the great disparity between the wealthy and the poor. The majority of the populace accepts this state of affairs because they believe that every man bears responsibility for his own lot in life. To an Ul'dan, money is the foremost, and some would say the only measure of a man's worth. Small wonder that the wealthiest wield the greatest influence. So where do the refugees fit into this social hierarchy? What place is there for those who fled Alamigo and the destruction of the Calamity? Plainly, there is none. They have no wealth, no power, and no worth. To the Ul'dan way of thinking, they may as well not exist. Choosing to ignore their existence, however, is patently not an option. General Rauban and the Sultana understand this, which is why they ordered the Immortal Flames to provide the refugees aid and succor. Yet none would dispute that the expenses incurred by this policy grow by the day, with no end in sight. This has prompted more and more Uldans to question their obligation to aid these worthless wanderers. While more and more refugees have come to resent their treatment at the hands of the sneering citizenry. The manner of Lord Lolorito's refusal to grant the Dolmens asylum bespoke a disdain for all refugees, an attitude shared by the rest of the monetarists. And you may be sure they make no effort to conceal their opinions. It was only a matter of time before the refugees united in protest, nor is it any surprise that some among them would ultimately resort to violence. That the Immortal Flames should choose this of all occasions to engage in joint training exercises with the other Grand Companies. By the time they return, the situation may well have deteriorated beyond mending.
Okay. I have no idea where this is going. Oh, sorry, I've been trying to swallow that yawn this entire time. Oh. As I told you before, it was all but inevitable that an incident of this kind would eventually occur given the rising tensions within the Sultanate. Nevertheless, I have reason to believe that this particular riot may not have begun spontaneously. Have I piqued your curiosity? Good. Then you accompany me to the Hall of Flames. I would hear what General Rauban has to say upon the matter. Or Rauban, I don't know. Rauban, I don't know. Where am I even going? Oh, okay. I'm going over here. Now is not a good time, Ria. My hands are full dealing with the refugees. Precisely the matter we wish to discuss, General. Alphino, back on your feet already? You may credit my swift recovery to your shurigans. My memories of the riot are still somewhat muddled. I trust you managed to regain control of the situation? Not entirely. We secured the city soon enough, but not before the unrest had spread to the surrounding territories. Pockets of resistance remain throughout Danalan. But we have sent what forces we can spare to root out the last of the belligerents. But progress is slow. They are damnably elusive. I can well imagine. Given that the majority of refugees live outside the walls, it stands to reason that they would know the lay of the land. What I do not understand is how they came to be so well prepared. Before my little accident, I observed that several of the refugees were armed, and not with butcher's knives or pitchforks, but with martial weaponry. I need hardly add that such equipment is costly. None can deny that tensions between the Uldan citizenry and the refugee population have increased since the Domans were turned away. But would that motivate a starving man to purchase arms in lieu of food? I think not. And what of those who have not even a single gil to spend? Who could not survive without the aid provided by the immortal flames? Surely they would sooner sell a weapon than bring it to bear against their benefactors. Come to the point. Very well. My point, General, is that this powder keg of discontent was not set alight by chance. These events were deliberately set in motion, and now order must be restored. That is my first duty. Until it is done, any investigation can wait. I do not have time to discuss this. My scouts will be returning anon. The general is no fool. He keeps his own counsel, and with good cause. Were he to claim, without the necessary proof, that these riots were instigated by outside forces, the monetarists would accuse him of attempting to shirk responsibility. After all, he and the Sultana have been the most outspoken proponents of refugee aid. Regardless, they will face harsh criticism in the days ahead. Our allies may stumble upon the truth in time, but I have far more faith in your abilities, Rhea. Therefore, I propose we conduct our own investigation, independent of the authorities. To that end, I would have you make inquiries in the settlements suspected of harboring belligerents. Commander Swift will know which they are. He may balk at a request for such information, but I have no doubt that you can persuade him with your silver tongue. I, meanwhile, shall seek answers in my own way, after which we can regroup and share our findings. Well then, shall we? Oi, oi, oi. Hey, thank you for the follow, Tiny Shroom. I like that name, by the way. That's cute. Excuse me. Choking on my water, for crying out loud. How are you doing today? Are you having a good day? You look as though you have something to say, Rhea. Do you? What you ask is no simple favor. Were such information to fall into the wrong hands, the lives of countless soldiers would be at risk. Even so, there is wisdom in your words. An able individual may be better suited to this task than a regiment. Very well. The Brass Blades have reported suspicious activity in the vicinity of Lost Hope. It may be unrelated to recent events, but we doubt it. I suggest you begin by speaking to the Blades posted there. Okay, so I don't know where that's at. Where is this at? Okay. Central Outland. The weather was really nice today, so I enjoyed outside time. Hope you're all doing well as too. Yep, it was. I live in Florida, and the weather was actually really beautiful. I was out and about all day long, so it was great. It gets really hot here, so nice days that are not super hot are actually fun to go outside in. I'm glad you had a wonderful time outside. Get that vitamin D, you know what I mean? Where am I going? Over here? Okay. A friend of the Sultan, are we? I take it this means someone has read my report? The refugees who left with the merchant have yet to return, and I am increasingly concerned that Zazawaka's suspicions were correct. You haven't the foggiest what I'm talking about, do you? Never mind. Speak with Zazawaka. He will explain everything. I like that name, Zazawaka. That's actually a fun name to say. And what brings you here, adventurer? A search for refugees? Well then, you come to the right place. Oh, you mean those refugees? Oh no, you won't find them here. Most of the people of Lost Hope have come to accept their situation and are content to pass their days in peace and quiet. Outsiders have trouble understanding that, like the merchant who passed through recently. Gregarious fellow, but awfully opinionated. Can't say I was sad to see him go. So, some sort of merchant. Okay. No, I've actually been playing for, what is it, 11 years now? I've been playing, so my husband and I, we met in 2011, and he introduced me to the game in 2011. This is an alt that I created because for as long as I've been playing, I've always wanted to replay the story because it was my first MMO, and there are things that I completely forgot about the story, like this whole quest line here. I'm completely just like, I have no clue where this is going. So I just always wanted to replay it and remember like bits and pieces of the story. So my plan is to hopefully get through Dawn Trail, which is the current expansion, before the next expansion comes through, and I'll be playing on my main. Then I'm gonna do my live reactions of the new expansion on my main character. So that's the plan right now. I'm hoping I can get there. We'll see. I should be able to. I'm halfway through the patch quests for A Realm Reborn, so I think I'm not even halfway through yet. Dang. I'm in 2.3. I just started 2.3. Zaza Waka. Ah, don't hurt me. I'm not one of them. I beg your pardon. You're not a flame? I see. If Leofric bids you speak with me, then I take it you've agreed to help. 'Twill be praised for that, because we haven't a moment to waste. Everyone knows the flames are on the march. The others have fallen under that fanatic spell, but not I. Promises of revolution and retribution, of holding the ruling class to account and taking that which is owed. Ha! A childish fantasy. I did everything I could to dissuade the others from leaving, but few would heed my words. Now that one of our idealists has returned, however, the madness of the merchant's plan is plain for all to see. Look beyond yonder tent and you'll understand why. Even now he babbles incoherently, so traumatized he is by the bloodshed he witnessed. Try as I might, I can make little sense of his words beyond the fact that he was not alone in surviving. Yet I've no doubt that merchant will lead the remainder to their doom. I beg of you, find them before he does. Terrified refugee. Oh, this guy. Okay. Well, what are you doing? Don't draw. Don't draw. Don't draw. Don't draw. Don't draw! Why didn't you run away with me? We could have escaped together. Then you'd be here, with me. Be here to soothe me. Why did you have to stay and leave me alone? Alright, you want me to soothe you? Sounds like a fun plan. I just got to Stormblood yesterday, so relatively new player. Oh, nice! How are you enjoying the story so far? Who are you? What do you want? Aye, it's true. I followed the merchant, and may the gods strike me down for my folly. What they will not give you must take, he said. When we asked how, he revealed the cache of weapons he had brought and implored us to seize control of our fates. I thought about running then and there, but the others were so excited. He split us into 2 groups, sent us off on our own. But when the flames found us, we didn't know what to do. Our leader tried to parley with theirs, but then they started arguing, and then fighting, and then everyone was fighting, and the flames were shouting up to give no quarter, and... Oh gods, the other group. They're still out there. If we don't stop them, they'll be massacred like mine was. Oh goodness. I don't remember this bit at all. I honestly don't. The other refugees are hiding in the caves south of Lost Hope, but to approach them would be fruitless. They would sooner call us agents of the Sultanate and try to kill us than listen to reason. Why, the twins might even deign to do the deed themselves. A pox on all bloody sellswords. They were supposed to train us to fight, but the ones he sent with us vanished during their struggle. Oh, if only we had never listened to the merchant's ridiculous claims. He said our cause was righteous, that the gods would never suffer us to be defeated. Though if they were forced to confront reality, that's it, challenging the twins to combat, and might show my brethren that their strongest warriors are no match for one woman. Mayhap then they will agree to lay down their arms and renounce this plot. Okay. It's starting to really pull me in. Yida. Oh yeah. So I'm not going to spoil that for my VOD because I'm trying to like people who are actually in this chat actually are, some of them are only in A Realm Reborn, so I'm trying not to spoil anything, but yeah, that was a good one. Stormblood is a good, oh, it's fine, you're fine, don't worry about it, it's fine. But Stormblood is a good expansion. I think the one after it that comes next, Shadowbringers, that one's my favorite of all of them. Where am I going? I need to go over here, I think. Here we go. Here's another refugee. 7 hells, they found us. Everyone, grab your gear and make for the rendezvous point. So that's your game, is it? Ha 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 ha. Sorry to disappoint you, lass, but we're more than willing to kill you ourselves. Oh. You're gonna make me kill you. Okay. That's how we're gonna do this? That's how we're gonna do this. No, I didn't mean to do the aft. Oh, here's more. It says do your worst. Okay. If that's how you want this to play out, sure. We can do that. I don't really want it, but... Oh, shit, he just healed himself. Even more. Shield wrapping swordsman. I guess it means that they're doing like this, like with their sword, like they're wrapping the shield. That wasn't very smart of me to stop fighting and do that motion. Alright, we got them all. Okay. You beat him like it was nothing. Thal almighty, what are we gonna do now? Alright, now I gotta go back. Now I'm gonna go to the terrified guy. And hopefully that'll be enough to say, okay, I think I scared them enough to lay down their arms. You've returned. Did you find my brethren? What of the twins? What happened? I see. Well, you had no choice. Better that a handful of them take a beating from you than the lot get butchered by the flames. Tell me, what did the merchant have to say when it was over? Huh? But where else could he be? Unless he went to Stone's Throw to recruit others? Oh, okay, we're going to Stone's Throw now. Oh well, okay. The merchant wished to approach the refugees in Stone's Throw, but was waiting until the flames withdrew their forces from the vicinity. Now that they have, there's nothing to stop him from continuing his work. How many more must perish in pursuit of this futile cause? How much more suffering must we endure before it ends? Find him. Convince him to cease his mad quest. It'll surely lead us to ruin. I just realized something. Oh, I am getting a teeny tiny little bit of experience for these quests, so I am definitely not going to get to 60 before Heaven's Word, but that's okay. I was like, the first couple quests were like super heavy on experience, so maybe I was going to, but now I see that they've very much got rid of that experience bonus there, so I still probably won't have to do anything but story when I get to Heaven's Word. Because I'm halfway to 53 already, so. We're going outside the city gates to Stone's Throw. I think, oh wait, over here, okay. L. Have you seen my parents? They told me to stay here with the others. They said they'd be back soon, but it's been days. They left with the man from Ul'dah. The man said they were going to change everything, make it so we can live inside the walls with everyone else. I liked it when he said that. I didn't like it when he talked about making the rich people pay. Everyone looked so angry and I got scared. Say, miss, are you looking for someone? I'm looking for someone stirring up trouble. You mean the man who left with my parents? But I don't know where he is. Wait! Look! Over there! I think that's him! Well now, which of these gullible fools shall be my next victim? You! He's gonna run. He's getting away! Go get him, miss! I can run faster than the NPCs. Wait, should I put my mount? I'm running. Cause role-playing game, right? I'm about to go to jog here in a second. I've run out of breath. I have to jog now. And look at that, I found him. Whee! Ow! You again. What? Why are you pursuing me? Sedition? Treason? Revolution? That's preposterous! Who has filled your head with these lies? Refugees? The self-same refugees who terrorize the streets of Ul'dah? Ha! You have no evidence to prove your accusations. None! No, I will not accompany you to the Hall of Flames. You have no right to detain me. For the sake of the argument, let us say I did do the things you claim. Surely you don't think I give a Kirkin's arse about politics. It was business. Only business. We both know I am not the one you want. However, if you agree to protect me, I swear I shall tell you everything. What's all this commotion? 7 hells. Tell the others to spread out and search the area. The killer may still be close. When I tell you, I have no clue what's going on. I have no clue what's going on. Hold, adventurer. I would know more about your relationship with the victim, as well as the events leading up to his death. This man was responsible for the recent riots? Mayhap we owe his murderer a debt of gratitude. In any case, it is obvious you are not the one whom we seek. You may carry on with your investigation, Scion. Okay, back to Ul'dah. Oh boy. What news, Rhea? Where is the merchant? Murdered? Damn it all to the 7th hell. He was not simply murdered, Rhea. He was silenced. Too many knew his face and he was ready to divulge his secrets. Do not despair, though. We may be closer to identifying the true orchestrator of these riots than you realize. Revolution. We got Nanamo. The Flame General left word that you were to proceed to the Fragrant Chamber as soon as you returned. He wishes to discuss your recent discoveries as well as the results of our own investigation. Master Alphino has already been informed and should be waiting for you outside. Pray proceed to the Royal Promenade with all haste and speak with Bartholomew. Good old Bart. Chamber, okay, yeah, here. There's Bartholomew. We've been expecting you, madam. Please proceed inside. Oh. That was a quick quest.
Commander Swift has kept us apprised of your recent activities. You've made great strides towards quelling the violence.
Despite our best efforts to determine what provoked this uprising, the truth continues to elude us. Have you uncovered aught which might shed some light on the mystery?
This information does not leave this room. The Syndicate's decision to reject the Doman refugees' appeal for asylum had lasting repercussions. A number of those displaced by the calamity claimed it was proof of a policy of discrimination. Together with a group of Alamegan refugees, they organized a series of demonstrations to protest against the Sultanate. Demonstrations which became heated, but did not descend into violence. Until a certain incident served as a call to arms.
A unit of brass blades sent to supervise a demonstration loosed arrows upon unarmed protesters. It was this atrocity which prompted the refugees to take up arms. I need not tell you what followed.
We assumed at first that the attack was born of a miscommunication. When emotions run high, they happen. But suspicions were raised regarding the unit's commanding officer, whom I ordered interrogated. Sure enough, our fears were soon confirmed. The dog confessed that a merchant had offered him coin to give the order. A merchant in the employ of Teleji Adeleji.
Teleji Adeleji. But he spoke in favor of the Doman's cause, and has ever seemed sympathetic towards the refugees' plight. Why would he do such a thing?
Know you of the Cartano Reclamation Bill? It is a proposal to annex the Cartano Flats so that refugees may establish permanent settlements.
When last I looked, that was disputed territory.
Aye. Some might even call it a battlefield. The destruction wrought by Bahamut was greatest at the Cartano Flats. That much is common knowledge. What is less well known is that his rampage laid bare ancient Allagan ruins, of which no record existed. There are certain differences of opinion as to how these ruins should be handled, which is why each nation maintains a military presence in the region to this day. Yet differ though we may, we are still allies. Therefore, in the interest of preserving the Eorzean alliance, we have reached an agreement. Any conflict which may arise during the course of military exercises in the region shall have no bearing on relations between our nations. In full knowledge of this delicate state of affairs, Teleji Adeleji proposed the Cartano Reclamation Bill. A shameless bloody ruse which stands to benefit him in but one conceivable way. If successful, he will gain control over the disputed territory under the guise of assisting in the resettlement effort. And you can be sure he'll build an orphanage next to every Allagan ruin.
The man would threaten the unity of the Eorzean alliance and risk countless lives for personal gain.
He walks a path all his own, independent of any faction and beholden to none of his fellows on the Syndicate.
By inciting the less fortunate to violence, he hopes to convince others that the Cartano Reclamation Bill is the only viable solution. His sympathy for the plight of the Domans was not but posturing to gain credibility with the refugees. Of that there can be no doubt.
Forgive me, but what could possibly motivate Teleji Adeleji to go to such lengths? What is so special about these ruins that he would risk his position on the Syndicate, and, most likely, charges of treason against the Sultanate?
Omega.
Pardon?
An Allagan monstrosity, not unlike the Ultima weapon. Mayhap larger, we know not. It has yet to be fully excavated. Allagan inscriptions indicate that it was created to fell Bahamut himself. If accurate, it might explain why Nail Van Darnus chose to bring the Red Moon down upon the Cartano Flats. Given the ends he went to ensure Eorzea's annihilation, destroying the one weapon which could stay the Elder Primal may well have seemed like good sense.
When first I bore witness to the power of the Ultima weapon, I doubted the evidence of my senses. And now you tell me there is another such weapon. One which could contend with Bahamut. Bahamut!
Aye, we were skeptical ourselves. Truth be told, until the Ultima weapon's existence came to light, we thought the inscription had been mistranslated.
At present, Omega is more akin to a fossil than a tool of war, having long since ceased to function. As such, its true potential cannot accurately be gauged. However, if someone were to restore it, as the Garleans did the Ultima weapon, I have little doubt that he would wield untold power.
Power enough to subjugate Uldar like as not, and the rest of Eorzea besides, which is doubtless why Teleji Adeleji yearns to have it.
That he should aspire to world domination. He who has ever walked 2 paces behind Lord Lolorito in matters of commerce.
'Tis in acknowledgement of his own limitations that he seeks this power. Woe betide us all should we allow him to have it.
Pray waste no time chasing rats. Only a fool would believe that secrets can be kept in Uldar.
It would seem the implications of the Sultanate's refugee problem are rather more far-reaching than we assumed.
Well then. And I did not suspect that Adeleji, whatever his name is. I always thought it was Lord Lolorito that was the awful one. Huh. What a switch. Alright. I should be glad to know the truth, and yet the thought that all this chaos was the product of one man's lust for power sickens me. How long do you think they intended to hide the existence of Omega from the Scions? That they even felt the need to do so is most troubling. It would be in our best interest to learn more of the military activities in the disputed territories. Fortunately, you are already well positioned to do so, Private Ribclaw. Pray keep us informed of any developments in Cartno. That's PvP. Begone, whelp! This is no place for children. I'm sorry. The same kid from before. I was looking for you, miss. You said you were looking for the man who left with my parents. You know this girl? So he visited Stone's Throw as well. I see. Did you find the man? Were my parents with him? They were not, I am afraid. However, I can think of several places they might be. If you like, we can go and look for them together. Really? You'll help me look, mister? Of course. But first, I must needs finish speaking with my friend. She's telling me a secret, you see, so no one else is allowed to listen. Mayhap you could wait for me by the pillar over there? We require but a moment. Okay, mister. I'll be waiting. I'll take her to the quicksand. Mayhap Momodi will know what to do. A legion of Garleans, an aether-starved primal. Even dealing with an Ascian would be preferable to this charade. Sometimes I fear Menphilia is too ambitious. We rush hither and yon in response to threats as they arrive, without concern for the strain it places on our limited resources, and ourselves. Mayhap the time has come for a change. Rhea, this is Menphilia. I know this is sudden, but I must ask you to return to Reverend Sol with all due haste. The situation in the 12th Wood has taken a turn for the worse. I will explain in detail once you arrive. 12's Wood? Then the primal threat she spoke of before has been confirmed? I have received no reports of Ixali activity, which leaves... the sylphs? Go, Rhea. You know as well as I that the appearance of a primal takes precedence over all else. Oh, and when you arrive, do inform the antecedent that while I am grateful for her concern, she needn't fear for my safety. I am more than capable of protecting myself. Are you now? Did it put me back into Mordona? No, it didn't. Okay. Here. It's time you didn't make your appearance last time. Here. What are you doing? Why are you being so camera shy today? Huh? You gotta make your appearance, you know? Here. Say hi. Hi, world. She's so annoyed. Hi, dear. You just taking it now? Know what you're doing? Say hi, everybody. Hi. You always beg for time up here. Now you act like you don't want to be up here. You're clawing the crap out of me right now. Here, why are you turning it away? There you go. See? Get back over there. There you go. Good girl. And of course I get hair all over me now because of that. Oh well. Alright, let's go see what Minfilia has to say. We might actually be able to get to the next trial. I don't know, we'll see how long the queue is going to be. I'm a little... Oh. I don't know, I guess I must not have done a... Did I not do a friend request? It just said that it's been a week. I don't know. Sorry if you sent me a friend request, I guess I didn't pay attention to it. Didn't see it. Alright, Minfilia. It is a relief to see you healthy in Eorzea. The latest news from Ul'dah was most disturbing. Clearly, the only injury Alphino suffered was to his ego. He cut the dang truth. Doubtless it will heal ere long. The other Scions will need to be present for this meeting. If you're ready to begin, I'll summon them now. Alright. Lord of Levin. So, I guess we're going to go and try to strike down... Ha! I see what I did there. Ramuh. Oh, dang, not voice cutscene, huh? Okay. Thank you for responding to my call with such haste. Rest assured, I should not have summoned you were it not urgent. To business then. I have received some most disturbing news from the Order of the Twin Adder. They have reason to believe that the Sylphs may have called forth their revered guardian, the primal Ramuh. I'm sorry. May have? Then it is not certain? The Elder Seedseer informs us that the elementals themselves murmur of the Lord of Levin's return to the forest. The Sylphlands, however, displayed no signs of undue commotion. Forgive me, antecedent, but that fact need not contradict the elemental's testimony. Unlike his more bellicose compeers, Garuda and so on, Ramuh is reputed to act only in the defense of his children. I imagine he would soon make his presence known if any were foolish enough to directly endanger the sylphs or their territory. The abruptness of this development concerns me. Were we not keeping a close watch on the touched ones and their movements? If preparations for a summoning ritual were indeed underway, 'twould surely not have escaped your notice. Oh, it didn't. I was pretty sure it was going to happen, just not this soon. I beg your pardon? You foresaw this eventuality, did not to prevent it? I told Papa Limo. I suppose I could have reported things to Menphilia earlier, but there honestly wasn't much we could do except wait and see. You know how the sylphs feel about people poking around in their territory. They already summoned Ramuh once right after the calamity, but that was because the Garleans came tramping through the forest. And so long as Castrum Orion stands, the sylphs cannot be blamed for wishing to have their guardian deity on hand. In short, Yida and I are in agreement. The action of the forest folk were inevitable and unavoidable. And I maintain that observation would have remained the best policy had it not been for the sudden influx of strangers into the Black Shroud. That, alas, we did not foresee. By all accounts, the recent violence in Ul'dah drove a number of refugees to seek safety under the concealing canopy of the trees. 'Tis like the sylphs perceived this panicked migration as yet another invasion and quickened their efforts to summon their god. I am in mind of Titan and the Kobolds. Once again, it is the affairs of men who have paved the way for Primal's coming. Indeed, one could not help but wonder what manner of place Eorzea would be without the civilizing influence of mankind. Be that as it may, this regrettable development does afford us a unique opportunity. Rhea, through your dealings with the sylphs of Little Solace, you once succeeded in preventing an untimely conflict with Gridania. I wonder, might one who has treated with the sylphs so fruitfully in the past not achieve similar success with their patron deity? If Ramuh can be convinced of our intentions, it may be the first step to breaking the cycle of primal summoning. A fond hope. Were such a thing possible, we would not have been at war with beastmen since time immemorial. But maybe this time we can... Let us continue this discussion anon. We must first needs consult with the nation most affected by Ramuh's presence. The Elder Seeseer has requested your personal involvement, Rhea. Pray report to Commander Helio at Adder's Nest as soon as you are able. Steel yourself for the worst. While I hope for a peaceful resolution to this matter, experience suggests that your meeting with the Lord of Leven will prove less than amicable. In such an event, your fellow Scions will of course lend you whatever support you require. Well, okay. I don't know how, like, where am I supposed to go and talk to the Lord of Leven and say, hey, I mean no harm. Like, let's not fight, let's hug. To the Adder's Nest. Rhea of the Scions, your arrival has been most anticipated. The appearance of the Primals ever cause for alarm and unease. Though my men stand ready for any eventuality, I know of none more qualified than you to snuff out this threat. Indeed, I would have you do so without delay. The Elder Seeseer, however, would speak with you first. She is of the opinion that your diplomatic rather than martial skills may better serve our cause. I'll leave further explanation to our learned leader. Pray make your way to Nofika's altar. The conjurer in attendance will admit you to the lotus stand. Which I could have done without having to come speak to you. Why isn't Menphilia and the Elder Seeseer just like go back more like just send read it to me. There's no need to be going to the Adder's Nest to get permission to go speak to the Elder Seeseer. Doesn't make sense. Alright. The other scions have already arrived, madam. May I show you in? Yep. Oh, they're all there except for Menfilia. Thancred, Eustola, Papalimo, Anita. Everyone's here. Okay.
Scions of the Seventh Dawn, on behalf of the people of Gridania, I bid you welcome. Your presence is of great comfort to us all in these days of uncertainty. I summoned you here to share tidings of a most urgent nature. But a short while ago, the great elemental spoke, and his voice was clarion in its intensity. Ramuh is returned unto the forest. Scarce had his words ceased to echo in mine ears when we were visited by an emissary from Little Solace. Our guest informs us that the sylphs too have sensed the presence of the Lord of Levin. Though his exact whereabouts remain unknown, we may safely assume that the primal was summoned within the heart of the Sylphlands. Unlike the other primals you have encountered, Lord Ramuh is no raging avatar of destruction. He is revered as much for his wisdom as his strength, serving as both arbiter and guardian to his children. Given that we and the Sylphs found a way to share the Twelves Wood, it is my hope that this sagely immortal will be amenable to reason, and that conflict may be avoided. Blessed as you are with the power of the Echo, you are one of the few among us who may commune with a primal without fear of influence. I would ask, therefore, that you represent us in this most delicate of negotiations. The Twelves Wood has suffered enough. Upon this, we and the Sylphs, and I would venture Lord Ramuh himself, are in perfect accord. Let us not endanger our shared home by engaging in unnecessary hostilities. Dear friend, I beseech you, safeguard the peace which exists between our peoples. You have my thanks. Pray make for Little Solace, then. A member of the Order of the Twin Adder awaits you there. He will advise you on how to find the Lord of Levin. An ill wind blows through the forest. Yet, it is not only the Twelves Wood that flinches at its coming. All the lands of Eorzea shiver in dread anticipation. Have care.
Alright, well... am I allowed to go and... No, I was wondering if I could go back into Lotus stand or whatever without having to have a quest, but I can't. Alright, so we're going to the East Shroud. Alright. And then I guess we're going to talk to them so they can tell us where to find the Lord of Levin, Ramuh. Over here. Were you at the seance? I was told to expect you. I understand you go to treat with the primal Ramuh himself. An enviable task, but one for which I have no doubt that you are well suited. I have been told that your fellow scions are conducting an investigation of the area as we speak, that we might ascertain the location where the Lord of Levin might be found. I would ask that you would bide here until they return with their findings. Alright. Levin an impression. Alright. So let's see if we can get a queue. I'm not sure if we'll be able to get a queue, or we're going to try. I was told that a messenger would be sent as soon as your fellow scions finish their investigation. I do not imagine it will be much longer. This one returns, and returns with good tidings. Wise ones have finished searching and have wisely identified the precise location where the Touched One summoned Lord Ramuh. Your timing is impeccable, my fluttery friend. Might you be so kind as to escort this good woman to her fellow scions? It would be this one's pleasure, Walking One. Please, please come with this one. Alright. I can't remember if these are level 40 or 30 mobs down here, so let's see. They are... Yeah, well, I know because I'm over leveled right now in this little area over here, but... Let's see, down here, okay. Oof. Okay, I am not over leveled here. Okay, here we go. Wise ones have ventured deep within the Southlands. These ones must proceed carefully and keep an eye out for the Touched Ones. No worries, because I can fly now. Back in the day when you were in this, if you were playing as it came out, you could not fly back here, so it's making it slightly easier. This one is most sorry, but this one cannot go further. Draw too close to Lord Ramuh, and this one may turn mean and nasty like Touched Ones. And so this one must say farewell for now. Walking One will find Wise Ones not far from here, to the south. Go in safety, Walking One. Alright. Down here. Yep, there's my friends. So it's actually you. I am relieved. For a moment I thought we were dealing with another one of those confounded sylph tricksters. I swear, with them wreaking havoc with their skin-changing magics, it's a wonder I was able to finish taking my measurements. Yes, it was quite the ordeal. You should have seen the look on Nishtola's face when the one impersonating you suddenly showed up. That's quite enough, Papilimo. Ahem, my apologies. It's not like me to ramble so. At any rate, as I was saying, I have finished measuring aetheric activity in the area, and I am pleased to say I have reached an indisputable conclusion, to wit, that Ramuh was called forth in the vicinity of the Sylph's Aetherite. Cumbria, the Lord of Levin awaits. Okay, so... all the way back here. Oh, right there. Ooh, there is a... what do I do? Investigate the area. I need to probably... oh, okay.
Vainora betrays thee, servant of Hydaelyn. Thou art the bringer of light, bane of Ifrit, Titan, Garuda, and Leviathan. I am Ramu, guardian of the children of the forest. Thou tramplest upon sacred soil, bringer of light. By what right doth man intrude in this sanctuary of the sylphs? The Gridanians proffer peace? Their words are born of delusion, thine offer an insult. Thou speakest of harmony, yet carest not for my children's desires. They did but wish to dwell beneath these boughs in solitude. Yet even that was too much to ask of man. Thus did they turn to me for succor. The sentence I pronounce upon thy kind is just. Gridanian or Garlean, it matters not. The good intent of one excuseth not the misdeeds of the other. Thy conflicts have brought naught but anguish and misery unto the forest. All blame doth lie with the darkness that resideth in the breast of man. Whence sprung this calamitous seed? In the beginning no such duality existed. Were light and dark given form when man was born? It would explain much, not least why strife and sorrow follow ever in thy wake. Thou canst not deny the urgings of thine own nature. Knowing that thy mere presence here portendeth tragedy, wilt thou persist in this pretense of peacemaking? Thou bearest the crystal which I bestowed upon my wayward charges. That they should entrust so precious a gift to thee. Thou standest apart from thy kin. Thou art the bringer of light, aye. But there is something more in thee. Very well. I shall consider thy proposal, shouldst thou survive my trial. If thou wouldst champion the cause of harmony, I must have proof that thou art fit to play the role. Wither mine ire, and prove to me thereby that thou hast strength enough to stay the darkness which threateneth to consume thee. Yet if thou shouldst be found wanting, know that all men shall perish in the storm of my judgment. Come to me, bringer of light. I shall await thee on the field of battle.
Eorzea, it is rare indeed to find you so far from a tome.
The Lord of Levin himself. Never till this day had I looked upon his visage, save in painted renderings made faint by time. Ever shall this scene remain etched in my mind's eye. Beg pardon, my lady. I must beg thine aid on a point of research. If thou art resolved to face Lord Ramu, I would ask thy leave to observe the event.
Okay. So striking country, like Ramu, is never been one of my favorites, just because I've always had a hard time remembering the mechanics, but I guess we're gonna see how it goes. It says less than 5 minutes. We'll see if I can get in there. You never know. I could go back to Mardona and do some fates while I wait, so I probably will go ahead and do that and see how long it takes me to get into the queue. Let's see what we got. Now it's 6:54. Okay, I should be able to get some of these in. Let's see how fast I can get. I need to do the other one, this one first, because this one is 8 minutes. So we'll do this one first. And they're both boss fights, really. Let's see here. This one is down here. Okay, so the trick to this one not getting in the other guys. Having my chocobo out at the same time, but I think I'm okay. I'm not doing too bad. Oh, look at that. Let's see if I'm able to. That wasn't too bad. I need to hurry though. That's my cue. Oh, it's close. Yeah. Close. Perfect. 10 seconds to go. Whew. Almost didn't make it. I do it again, that's right. It's good music. It's very Celtic. 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 Okay, Celtic. Okay. I can never remember between the two of them. That is for sure. I do not have good rotation right now at all. And I hit both my friggin' songs like a dumbass. Oh! Bask in the glow of his glorious beard. Gotta kill these, I think. seem too hard. Maybe I'm just remembering the extreme fight, because extreme fight was hard for me. I can never remember the mechanics. I don't remember how to like not get terror, but I'm like frozen for 20 seconds now. You got terror too. Have to like, I wonder if you have to turn around and that's why how you don't get terror. I don't know. I don't remember. There we go. Cool. That's one down. That's another one. We did 2 trials tonight. That's really good. And the night's still young. We might get through 2.3 tonight.
I have taken thy measure, bringer of light. And I judge thee a worthy champion. The task of excising the sin that hath taken root in man's heart is thine. Shrink not from employing thy strength in service to the forest and the wider realm beyond. Like hungering shadows do the enemies of harmony gather, and meekness will but feed them. If man is to be delivered from the dark, it shall be by thy guiding light alone. Stray not from the path, for if thou dost, thy people shall be truly lost.
Thou hast slain the Lord of Levin. A regrettable act, but a necessary one. In witnessing thy struggle, a truth hath been revealed unto me. If I mistake not, it may yet prove a chink in the eternal armor of the Ascians. But let us conclude our present business. I shall expound upon my findings at the Rising Stones anon.
Get away from that. I don't want to fight you. Alright. Oh, I need to go to back to Little Solace. Okay. That wasn't so bad. Q wasn't bad at all. Alright, so then we're going to hopefully wrap this up and then go back to our earlier storyline, which is try to figure out about these refugees. Ria, you have returned. Dare I ask how Ramu received your visit? He challenged you to a test of arms? It is well, then, that you have some experience in such matters. The peoples of both Gridania and Little Solace will be relieved to hear that the Lord of Leven has accepted you as its forest champion at peace. You have performed a monumental duty this day, Rhea. The Elder Seeseer must be informed of your deeds at once. I guess I have to go to see the Elder Seeseer first before I can go back to the Rising Stones. The Elder Seeseer will wish to hear of your experiences firsthand. Pray return to Gridania and make directly for the Lotus Stand. The Conjurer at Nofika's altar will be expecting you. Fare you well, Rhea. Alright. Okay. Conjurer's Guild. Okay. Let me do this. Give me 1 second. I want to check something here. Oop, I forgot something. Okay, let me see. Okay. I think I'm good. Okay, let me go ahead and go to the Conjurer. Sorry about that. I had to check something out real quick. Welcome back, Honor and Scion. We who knew of your mission have been most anxious to see you return. The Elder Seeseer awaits you within.
You are returned to us, dear friend, and none the worse for bearing the heavy burden which I did press upon you. Most glad am I of this. I am informed that your efforts to negotiate a peace with Lord Ramuh ended in conflict. Pray tell me, what befell? Ramuh made trial of you? I fear there is truth to his claim. It is the darkness within us that attracts the darkness without. It cannot be denied that misfortune follows man. For evidence, one need only look to the conflict brewing in Cartano, or to the rising flood of refugees. Our shared struggle against the Empire should have served to seal our union. Yet the ties which bind the Alliance strain under the weight of gross self-interest. As the scars of the calamity begin to fade, so too does our sense of common purpose. Yet now is scarce the time to forget our shared responsibility. If this new-sprung realm is to survive beyond its infancy, it must needs be nurtured by all. Eorzea must be as one, yet I fear that dream is still far off. On behalf of the people of Gridania and the elementals both, I thank you for all that you and your fellow scions have done. Full oft have I been compelled to look to you for aid of late, and offered all too little in return. As leader of this nation, I shall endeavor to prove a more worthy ally to your cause henceforth. Lord Ramu has departed, yet the keening of this ill wind grows no less insistent. Voices of the forest, pray speak and I shall listen. What unseen evil begets this unease in my heart?
Thus ends another daunting mission, Eorzea. I'd hoped Lord Ramu could be persuaded with words alone, but nonetheless, I can only admire the adroitness with which you responded to the primal sudden challenge. And it seems that Eorzea too was pleased with the outcome. What say you, Rhea? Shall we gather back at the Rising Stones and ponder the lessons of the day? The lessons of the day, okay. Lessons of the day is that primals don't like hugs. They like to fight. Alright, so back into the 7th heaven. And then into... Wait! Isn't the 7th heaven a bar from Final Fantasy XIV? I think I remember that. Yeah, okay. That was a good nod, and I picked it up without Blood having to tell me, hey, that's a reference. Yay me! Alright, so let's see. 11 years later. It only took me 11 years to realize that reference, yeah. In my defense, I hadn't played Final Fantasy XIV 11 years ago. That is true. I wouldn't have known. Yeah. That's why, I mean, that, again, this is why it's like so much fun to replay the story. I'll yawn again. Oh no, why am I yawning so much tonight? Welcome back, Rhea. Word of your momentous encounter with Lord Ramu precedes you. I would fain share news of mine own, but Eorzea discoveries must take precedence. Upon witnessing your defeat of the Lord of Leven, our learned companion was struck with a profound insight regarding the nature of the Ascian's immortality. Let us assemble and discuss his observations together.
If everyone is ready, let us begin. Eorzea, the floor is yours.
As all here assembled now know, in its final hours as our Order's headquarters, the Waking Sands did play host to a most unexpected visitor. I speak of the Ascian clad in white, Elidibus. Unwelcome though his presence was, his words that day did serve to confirm a truth long suspected, that the Ascians are eternal beings, to whom physical destruction is as a temporary inconvenience.
In the intervening time, Eorzea and I have striven to discover a means by which the Ascians might more permanently be slain.
And 'tis my belief that we have found the thread that will allow us to unravel the twisted skein of their existence. In the moments prior to Leviathan's most recent manifestation, the Sahagin elder who summoned him was observed to undergo some manner of ascension. The etheric readings taken by Y'shtola at the time of this transfiguration have proven most enlightening.
The disruption to the flow of ether was sudden and dramatic. So tangible was the agitation, I scarce had need of my goggles.
The significance of Y'shtola's readings might better be understood in the context of mine own, taken at the instant of the Lord of Levin's demise. Unlike the primal, the Sahagin was not subject to etheric dissipation.
Before discussing our new discoveries, it may benefit us all to recall what we know of etheric behavior. Let us begin at what some might call the end. When we who dwell in the material realm die, our spirits dissolve into the flow of ether and are returned to the ethereal realm. In turn, the restless energy which suffuses that plane streams back into our world, giving rise to new life.
'Tis as the heavens did decree, the way of all mortal souls. Twixt this world and the next do the ethereal currents swirl, bearing the very essence of life. Thus doth the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth continue unabated.
Primals behave somewhat differently. In order to manifest and then maintain a physical presence in this realm, they must consume vast quantities of ether, most often in the form of crystals. Though they may seem to live, their flesh is but ether given shape. Thus, a defeated primal leaves behind no broken corpse. Rather, the essence of its form seeps back into the land whence it came, and the energy of its shattered spirit is called back to the ethereal realm.
And there it waiteth, till next the prayers of the faithful do draw it forth from the sea of ether, to take their offering of crystals and make for itself a new body.
Which brings us on to the third group, the so-called immortals. They exist in a manner all their own.
Quite. Even as the Sahagin elder fell to the Admiral's musket shot, I witnessed the release of an ethereal cloud, which immediately took possession of a nearby minion.
A soul that dissipateth not upon the death of the flesh.
The secret of life everlasting, and in the claws of a Sahagin no less. But I wonder, what would happen to one of these obstinate spirits should there be no suitable host for it to claim?
If mortal death entails a return to the ethereal realm, it seems doubtful that the soul of an immortal would venture there.
Nay, it merely withdraweth a distance, unto the shore of the ethereal sea, perchance, but no further.
Yes, it exists in neither this realm nor the next, abiding instead in the space that lies between them. The Ascians took control of Thancred by means of a crystal of darkness, an artifact which, if our theories are correct, serves as a gateway to the place I have just described.
I was hoping people had forgotten about that.
I am sorry, my friend.
For a mercy, the weary road of our research hath brought us unto an answer.
The Sahagin ascended to an immortal state, but he did not possess a crystal of darkness through which to flee this realm. Thus was he consumed by Leviathan. If we could entrap the spirits of defeated Ascians in like manner, and thereby deny them resurrection,
Therein lieth the path to victory. Thou art most perceptive, my lady. Only when we have trapped the bodiless soul within an ethereal prison can we hope to defeat its unnatural constancy. Thus might even an eternal paragon be consigned to oblivion.
These feats are, of course, far easier said than done. At present, we lack a viable means to entrap and extinguish an Ascian soul. Yet, I believe it to be possible. The pieces of the puzzle lie before us. We have but to put them together.
I will depart at once to convene with the sages of Sharlayan. Together shall we divine the steps by which our goals may be achieved.
I have the utmost faith in you, Archon.
Beg pardon, antecedent, but I would raise one final matter. Even now, a Sharlayan survey party seeketh to ascertain the fate of the students of Baldessian. Their findings shall soon be known to us. Though you harbor feelings of dread, I bid you surrender not to sorrow, but abide instead in hopeful prayer.
I shall, Archon. Thank you.
The Lord of Levin is returned to the Aether, as was the Leviathan before him. Ramuh's acquiescence was most intriguing. Inferno, Vortex, Crag, Whirl, and Levin all have now been humbled by the Bringer of Light. The limitless potential of man, Hydaelyn's servant grows mightier by the day. Yet she prospers at great cost to her mistress, whose strength is all too finite. 7 times have the masses survived the rejoining, but their souls are grown weak and wan. Yet even as it enervates, the ardor empowers our master. All that remains is to nurture the strength of the gifted, to forge the final key. And that is the task to which we bend our every effort. Divine seeds were ever wont to quicken in Eorzea's fertile soil. We need only lead men to the field, and by their eager hands shall new deity arise. That which was shattered shall be made anew, and the one true God shall come again. That feels like the end of the patch, but there's like 5 more quests to go through, so let's see how much if we can get through these. Now the matter of Ramuh has, for the present, been put to rest. There's something I would show you, Rhea. It's a letter of thanks signed by the leaders of the Eorzean Alliance, acknowledging the Scion's tireless service to the realm. It mentions in particular the names of all the defeated primals: Ifrit, Titan, Garuda, Good King Magomag XII, Leviathan, and now Ramuh. Needless to say, there is only one among our number to have faced them all. And though these words of gratitude were addressed to our order as a whole, I feel that they were meant for you above all others. I, too, must offer my heartfelt thanks for all that you've done. In the course of your duties, you have never once failed to answer my call to arms. You are a true hero, Rhea, and Eorzea is that much safer for your presence. Pray do not misunderstand me. I said safer, not safe. I know only too well that we can ill afford to lower our guard. The Ascians may be relied upon to sow chaos in this realm until such a time as they are forced to stop. Why, even without their encouragement, you may be assured that man would foment strife on his own, and that is to say nothing of the beast tribes. Unless we learn to live in harmony, the primals, too, will return to plague us again and again and again. And yet, despite all of this, your deeds serve to inspire the people, to give them hope for a better tomorrow, and there is no greater gift. That we have the courage to strive for what might otherwise seem an impossible peace, we owe in no small part to the dangers you have faced on our behalf, and the people you have won over to our cause in so doing. Our list of enemies has ever been long, but think of the allies with whom we are now blessed. Of the sylphs of Little Solace, who wish naught of conflict. Of the Alamegans and the Domans who stand with us, determined to halt the dread march of the Empire. And then there are the many unsung individuals who have gathered here in reverence toll, honest men and women who seek to employ their skills for the good of all. Of course, when speaking of our greatest allies, we must not forget those closest to us, by which I mean our fellow Scions. Thanks to their many and varied talents, our order is uniquely equipped to combat the far-reaching corruption of the Ascians, and combat it we shall. Your enthusiasm is truly heartwarming, Antecedent. Given our embarrassing wealth of allies, I trust it will not inconvenience you unduly if I absent myself for a time. Alpha, no. I take it the troubles in Ul'dah no longer require your attention? There are yet some rumblings of discontent, but the air of simmering violence is largely dissipated. 'Tis to report such that I stand before you now. That, and to speak with you concerning the new organization we discussed. I have a message for you from Elle. Ahem. You recall the refugee girl? The one whose parents were missing? They were found unharmed. She wished me to pass on her thanks to you. Why, Alphino, am I to understand that you made the effort to remember the poor girl's name? I look forward to reading all about her in your report. I do hope you left nothing out. Rhea, you have been away from Reverence Toll for some time now, I believe. Might I suggest that you put the affairs of the realm to one side for the moment and take this opportunity to reacquaint yourself with the town? Which reminds me, one of the Doman children recently inquired as to your whereabouts. Yozin was his name. I believe he has some small matter he wishes to share with you. Why not oblige him with a visit? Alright, let's see. Who are we talking to now? Yozin. Here's Yozin. Look, it's Miss Rhea. She's back from her adventures. We heard you were off fighting primals, and that they're some of the strongest enemies you could ever face. I wish I could have seen you in battle. Anyway, we all want to be heroes too, so we finally formed our very own Doman's Adventure Guild to protect all the Domans. Oh, do you think you could train us today, Miss Rhea? Maybe you could show us how you fought the primals. What's all this commotion then? Mr. Boulder and Mr. Coltinet, did you know that Miss Rhea is back? So it would seem. Welcome home, Rhea. My companion and I but recently became full members of the Scions, and I believe proper introductions have yet to be made. I am known as Hoary Boulder, and this bookish fellow here is Coltonet. Though we remain largely unproven as adventurers, we have taken upon ourselves to instruct the Doman younglings in the arts of combat. Ugh, I told you, Mr. Boulder, we are not younglings anymore. We are adventurers. And we were just asking Miss Rhea if she could give us some special training. I think we're ready to hunt monsters alongside her, don't you? Well, you've certainly been diligent with your drills, but I'm afraid the fiends of Mordona are still ever so slightly too dangerous for you. I have a counter-proposal. What if I were to cross swords with Rhea? A demonstration of skill at arms, if you will. Hoary, if I don't know you better, and I do, I'd say you are merely seeking to test yourself against a legend. Ah, ha, 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 well, mayhaps I am. But what matters the motive when the children stand to learn so much from the lesson? What say you, Rhea? Would you consent to spar with me? Hurrah! We're to have a tournament. Come on, everyone. We must prepare our gear for an outing. Do not try to disappoint them, Have faith, Coltonet. I shall summon every last ounce of my strength to make of this a worthy contest. The fields to the east of town should prove suitable for our purpose. I very much look forward to our bout. Alright. This patch has all been about friendly tests and trials. I need to go this way. I had the on again. Oh my gosh. Oh look, it's the Crystal Tower. Alright, oh it's the instance, okay. 'Twas good of you to agree to this, Rhea. I trust you are ready to begin? Very well. Let us not keep the younglings waiting any longer. Ahem, Hoary, are you certain you wish to fight her alone? That is Rhea you face. What better way to test my mettle? Pray allow me to attempt the first round unaided. After all, 'twas this hero's legend that led me to join the Scions to begin with. Without Rhea to inspire my efforts, I would not be half the warrior I am today. Your point is well made, but remember, this is for the children's sake as well as your own. Should it appear the contest will end too swiftly, I shall add my spells to your blade work. Hello, you haven't begun yet, have you? Yida! What? Who are all these people? When I heard about your sparring match, I told everyone I could find. Thought you could use a crowd to cheer you on. Yes, and there are still more to come. When I mentioned Rhea's name, the reaction was quite enthusiastic. Why, my own popularity seems to be but a sickly shade in comparison. You'd best claim victory, Bringer of Light. Your burgeoning reputation is at stake. Well, our teacher won't be beaten so easily. He's a master swordsman. You can win, Mr. Boulder. We shall soon see. On your guard. Well, if my reputation is at stake, I have to make sure that I win. Wait. That's it? Alright. I'm gonna get rid of the healer first. Well, that was, okay. Born again? Okay. And done. That was anticlimactic. You have bested me. I yield. That was incredible. She beat them both at the same time. We knew you couldn't lose, Rhea. None could defeat the Guardian of Eorzea. Now I see why they send you to deal with the primals. I have much work to do if I'm ever to attempt the same. Impressive as always, Rhea. 'Tis ever a pleasure to witness a spectacle of your martial prowess. And judging by the smiles on those many faces, they too appreciate the hard-won strength that keeps the perils of the realm at bay. Guardian of Eorzea. Yeah, that is a most fitting title. Do you recall when we first met? 'Twas at a memorial service for the Battle of Cartno. At the time, I was yet attempting to understand this land of Eorzea. I sought to grasp the reason why Grandfather willingly sacrificed himself to protect it. I shall speak plainly. My initial impressions were less than favorable. Dire problems abounded, and yet the effort I saw expended towards their solution was haphazard and half-hearted. I thought Eorzeans a foolish and childish people. Considering the shambles their home was in, I would not have been surprised if some had chosen to swear allegiance to Gaius and the order he proposed to enforce. The legate's single-minded military invasion precluded any such switching of loyalties, of course. Were it not for a desire to continue Grandfather's legacy, I would have abandoned the realm to its fate long ago. The threats were too many, the nations too self-involved and unstable. 'Twas you who convinced me the salvation of Eorzea was possible. 'Twas you who taught me, through countless acts of bravery, that what my grandsire sought to preserve was not the land, nor its history, nor any single nation. It was the people, these wonderful, oft infuriating, stubborn people that suffer blow after terrible blow only to drag themselves back to their feet to face another day. Though he never put such feelings into words, I believe Grandfather's admiration for this inextinguishable courage grew into a fervent wish, a wish to aid Eorzea and its inhabitants in charting a course for the future. A wish that has now become my own. I, too, will endeavor to take up the mantle of Guardian of Eorzea and champion these people who toil towards a better world. Our cause, however, is not a simple one. The troubles that plague us are of a scale that cannot be solved by the scions of the Seventh Dawn alone. Know what is needed to tackle the root of the primal threat and effectively counter the schemes of Ascians as a new, expanded organization that cooperates beyond the limitations of nations and borders. If you'd aid me in building such an organization, then pray let us continue this discussion back within the walls of the Rising Stones. Okay. I might go a little bit long tonight because I wanted to go ahead and finish G.3. I think Sunday we're going to be doing Bahamut, I think, at least for the first part of the stream. So I do want to make sure that I get through 2.3 so that I can do that. Back into the solar. Thank you for coming, Rhea. The world shifts and alters, and we, my friend, must ever be one step ahead of the chaos. What I propose is the formation of a new organization, a group that shall pave the way for a truly united Eorzea. I'll just do that. Okay. Pray forgive me if I tread over old ground, but I would first speak of the grand plan. Since the advent of the 7th Astral Era, the leaders of the three nations have been deliberating over an accord that seeks to bring the disparate forces of Eorzea together into a single entity. A realm-wide grand company, if you will. The military might of such an institution would be drawn from every corner of the land and directed against threats that no single nation could hope to overcome alone. Yet while the purpose of this hypothetical organization is undisputed, the logistics of its formation have become the source of endless debate. And the longer these discussions continue, the more I sense the impetus towards unification draining away. Thus have I been campaigning for the creation of what might be considered a trial company. It'll be on a much smaller scale than what we hope to eventually achieve, but capable of the same manner of unrestricted operation accorded to the Scions. 'Tis my hope that the successful utilization of such a force will lend momentum to the lagging deliberations. Also, being a primarily military outfit, I mean to assuage fears of its misuse by placing the fledgling organization under the authority of the antecedent. The Scions work tirelessly to protect Eorzea and its people. But as you yourself have witnessed with the refugee revolt, there are limitations to what even we can achieve. With this new company under the Scion's command, however, we will be capable of responding to a wider range of difficulties without straining our resources or overtaxing your formidable talents. The goals of my proposed organization and those of the Scions are ultimately identical, a point conceded by all concerned. But before I can move forward with establishing this precursor to the true border-spanning Grand Company, 'tis yet necessary that I visit the three leaders and gain their official approval. A tiresome and time-consuming task, which is why I would ask that you accompany me on the journey and attend to the business of recruiting our inaugural members while I am otherwise engaged with the bureaucratic formalities. Thank you. 'Tis reassuring indeed to know that the Bringer of Light and her discerning eye will be selecting our future allies. Our first destination will be in Lominsa. Let us rendezvous at Bulwark Hall. Oh, he is really wordy, is he not? He could have just said, hey, like, I need you to Help me recruit for a border-spanning grand company. Come to Limsa with me. So many words. Okay. So let's see where we're at here. This way? Yeah, this way. Okay. There you are. I'm ready to ascend the bridge and speak with Admiral Blofhiswin. While the Admiral and I are finalizing permissive boundaries and signing parchments, I would have you begin the recruitment process in earnest. I have, of course, endeavored to spread the word of our organization through various channels, but I believe a personal approach will reach many who may otherwise remain ignorant of the opportunity. As for potential members, 'tis of no matter should they already be pledged to another institution, only that they are willing to lend their strength when the situation demands it. And you need range into the countryside. The upper decks alone are populated with sufficient candidates to suit our purpose. Once you are satisfied with your recruiting efforts, meet me at the airship ticket counter that we might prepare for the next leg of our journey. Oi. I think I was gonna try to get through this tonight, but I feel like these quests are not going to be very quick as I thought, like they were in 2.2. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just stop.